Okay, try number like 4 or something. I don't know. Apparently, my computer can't handle running more than one thing at a time with this OBS software going. So I'm going to try and get some tactics in. But as you can see, I've done a lot since I've posted a video because my whole last session didn't get recorded. Or it got recorded, but you can't hardly see what's going on. I got all the way up to 2194 before I started noticing that I was slowing down and the computer was slowing down, everything was slowing down. And I missed a whole bunch in a row. And fun kicked me all the way back to 2148. So I tried to fight my way back up before stopping the stream. I'm going to try one more time. As long as my computer doesn't completely freak out, hopefully you guys can see what's going on. Really would like to get up over 2200. That would be amazing. So what's the idea here? Even material. Queen looks a little low on squares over there. Also, the bishop and the knight are defended by the same pawn, huh? So what about like knight takes c5, pawn takes c5, bishop takes e5. I mean, I've got to look out for like bishop h3, but bishop f3 protects that. Even knight back, knight g3. So, what's better? Knight takes c5 or bishop takes e5. What's better? Say knight takes c5. Is there some sort of in-between move that I need to be worried about? Like, seems like all the knight moves are covered sufficiently. My CPU usage is all the way up again now. Just glancing at my monitoring software. So who knows why this happens and what I can do to stop it. But until then, I might not be able to take any videos. I guess the difference here is that after bishop takes e5, there's queen takes e4 in between move. So I think I have to start with the knight. Knight takes c5, pawn takes c5. I don't think there's anything I have to worry about with the bishop or anything, or the knight jumping in. What about bishop takes, or knight takes c5, knight h4, then I take the bishop. That looks pretty good. I think knight takes. Yeah, and he did throw in the in-between move. So what? Bishop f3, knight f3, queen f3. The pawn or the bishop's still hanging. Well, bishop f3. There's pawn takes. No. Yeah, bishop f3. Knight f3, queen f3. Pawn takes c5, queen takes h3. Damn it. I cannot focus with this fucking computer. Excuse my language. All right. Don't blame the computer. I mean, I can hear the fan running and it's whatever. Turn on the engine. Yep, so this is obviously the best here. Then there's here. Then there's here. No, there's not. That was the wrong one, right? That was wrong. I'm still at plus 0.8, plus 0.7, but the actual response is here. Difference being versus here, here, here. And then after this, there's knight takes, queen takes. I guess there's this in-between move, huh? That makes sense. That makes sense. I should have thought about that for a second. I didn't really see the bishop h3 move. I wasn't thinking about that one. So, okay, fair enough. That's why I missed that one. Not going to miss another. I'm going to get to 2200. Okay. So, my queen is looking at his king through the c6 pawn. So something like knight takes c6 is tempting. Knight takes c6, pawn takes c6, queen takes c6, check. But after knight d7 defending, doesn't look very convincing. My bishop's hanging on a3. Although the bishop on f1 can run out, huh? Knight takes e6, pawn takes e6, queen takes e6, check. Queen can't defend because the rook hangs. So knight d7, then pawn, bishop to b5. I mean, what are the ideas here? Oh, I guess there's The knight is defended by the bishop on g6, so I can remove the defender, like knight takes g6. Knight takes g6. Knight takes a1. Traps the knight. So I say it traps the knight, but it wins in exchange. So what do I have in between? Knight g6 to take h8, knight g6, knight a1, knight h8. His knight's trapped at the end. So's mine, I guess. Knight takes g6 looks pretty good. Like knight takes g6, either pawn takes, king takes c2, winning a piece. Knight takes g6, knight takes a1 or a3. How about knight takes a3? Knight takes g6, knight takes a3, knight takes h8, knight to b5, knight takes b5. I think that's just good for me. I think knight g6, knight takes g6. Remove the defender on the knight. At the end of the day, I think I'm up material. Yeah, now just takes. Sweet, +4. All right, making our way back up. So if I take with the bishop, oh, there's another rook over there. So this is going to be dangerous, huh? So I think if bishop takes, rook takes, pawn takes, that's checkmate. So that doesn't work. So pawn takes, queen takes, I can take with the bishop and I'm okay. Pawn takes and the rook takes, I've got g7. I think I can escape. Bishop takes, rook takes, pawn takes, checkmate. So that just doesn't work. So this is only move situation, right? Pawn takes, rook takes, king g7. Pawn f7, king f1. Still pretty dangerous. But looks like I'm escaping. I guess I could take with the bishop on f7. So pawn takes, rook takes, king g7, f6, bishop takes f6. Ooh, it's getting dangerous. He's got the light square bishop coming down. Pawn takes, only move. Rook h7, king g7. Rook h6, king g7. Then I think the only move to keep his attack really going is f6. I mean, he's got rook h7, but then king f8. I think I'm okay. So f6. And if bishop takes f6, I think I'm okay. I've got to run, but I think I'm okay. That f7 pawn does a pretty good job. So pawn takes his only move. There's no, yeah, this doesn't work. Rook takes, and now king g7, again, only move. Everything else just loses, right? I mean, there's only one other, and that's mate, so. Yeah. Now, do I go king f8 or bishop takes? If bishop takes, king f8 looks dangerous, huh? Yeah, king f8 is too dangerous for rook h8, right? King f8, rook h8, and there's mate unstoppable again, I think. Maybe not unstoppable. King f8, rook h8, bishop takes f6. Queen h6 check. King e7. So is it bishop takes or king back? Bishop takes. King h7 check. King f8. Then queen h6 mate. So king back now. Otherwise I'm getting mated on h6. I need to keep my bishop defending that. And if king back, then I have the e7 square after the bishop takes. What? Minus 19. God. I mean, okay. But minus 19. That hurts. Here. Made in 2. Okay, it's really wrong. I didn't see that check. Wow, I didn't see that. If I saw that, I mean, the other one's only move. All right, turn this back off. Is it still struggling? Yeah, it's still struggling. I don't know that any of this is getting recorded. Oh well, let's continue. Minus 19, that hurts. Okay, well, rook takes d5. It's obviously first on my list. Then knight takes b6, rook check, king up, bishop e5 check, and g3. So what about something else right away. Man, -19, that hurts to see. Okay. Come on, Andrew, focus, 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 focus. There's back rank mate threats, right? Like queen c7. Queen c7. If his queen moves, d1 mate, rook d1 mate, right? And he's got nowhere to go to trade queens because he can't go to d6 or e5. That looks pretty good. Queen c7. Queen c7, rook f7. Queen c7, rook f7. So what about queen b1 instead? Queen b1. There's no rook f7. There's no queen block. There's no knight block. That looks good. Queen b8. I think I was saying b1. I mean queen b8. Nice. Victory. Well, I got 11 of those points back. All right. The obvious first move here is knight takes f6, check. There's also knight to h6 with check, and there's bishop to h6. Bishop h6. Gain a tempo. Not really, because there's bishop g7. But there is after knight f6, knight f6, bishop h6, rook move. There's nothing defending the d7 knight. What about rook d1? If the knight moves, I take the bishop with check. And if they defend the knight, I take it and then take, oh, that looks good. That looks good. Now which rook? Rook e, probably, to prevent any bishop takes c3 intermediate moves. Rook e to d1. Everything else is defended. You can push h5. Rook e to d1, h5. Then I have the check. check on h6, and then take the knight. That looks good. Yeah, but I've got to insert this check to defend the knight. Then take. Great. But I get nothing for that one, huh? Ah, +5, there it is. Cool, 2146. Chugging along. Up and down, up and down. I can make it. Okay, bishop on e3 is undefended. Something like pawn takes pawn on f4 attacks 2 pieces. That looks pretty good already. Pawn takes pawn, bishop takes pawn, queen takes knight. Pawn takes pawn, knight takes d6. I take the bishop with check. There's no intermediate move that I can see. Well, there's knight takes f6. E takes f4. Knight takes f6. Rook takes f6. That's just a sacrifice. Man, is this one that easy? Looks pretty good. Didn't even consider it. Now, double attack. Not double attack. Double up on it. Rook e8. Which rook? If I bring the f rook over, I'm losing defenders on the f6 pawn, and I'm allowing some forks on d6. So I think c rook over. And then if the knight jumps, I take the pawn with check, and there's no exchange win. I think that's good. Of course, I can pin it as well, huh? Rook c to e8. Rook to d4. Then push the pawn. f5. That looks pretty good. f5. Yeah. Yeah, and now take with check, so I can get away from the knight recapturing. Cool, +6, all right, 2152. Check, uh-oh. This is an endgame study. I haven't had any of these yet. King b2. Queen f6 check. It's very close to losing for white, huh? So, king b2, queen f6 check. Rook c3 check. King just takes. So king a2. Then there's a check on the f on f2. So king king a3. I mean. Then there's if I go somewhere on the d file, he's got queen d6 check. Stay. Feel like b2. I mean, I've got to defend or block the check somehow. Can I run over to the pawns? I doubt it. I think I have to stay defending my rook as well. So king b2, queen f6 check, king a3. Is there king a2? No, because he can come down. King a2, he can come down to f2 check. Then king a3. Back up. King f8 check. King a4. Queen a4, does that stop all the checks? King b3. Queen f6 check. King a3. No, I think a2 first. King b3, queen f6 check, king a2. So he's got to come to f2 for check. That gives him then c5. So maybe straight to a3. Queen d6 check. Rook b4. Rook b4. Stops the checks. Nope. It's d1. King a5. How do I stop the checks? King b2. Queen f6 check. King a3. Queen d6 check. What about king c3 right now? King c3, queen f6 check. King c4, e4 check. No, e6 check. b4. Can I run all the way up? Not if I get in front of it, right? If I get in front of my rook, he can take it. So, king b2, queen f6, king a3, queen d6, rook b4, queen d1, king a5, queen d5. So I have to go back. So queen a4, or king a4. King b2, queen f6. King a3, queen d6. Can I run to the other side? Queen d1, queen d6, queen e2. He just wins the rook there. Oh, how about queen c1 right up, or king c1? He doesn't have any checks on king c1. God, I'm trying to make it all complicated, right? King c1, he has no checks. No useful checks. King c1. So, I queen, or he blocks it and I win his queen. Yeah, I think just king c1. Yeah. Yeah, because now I'm queening. Or knight. Queen. If I get a queen. Yeah, I don't see how knight can help. I mean, I want a knight because it's check, but queen. And then where's his checks? Not one on e3. Not one on the c file, so e1. King b2. And I think I'm defending everything. Sweet. And and my CPU is running about 50%, 55%. So hopefully this is recording some footage, but this is my last try. So if not, it's not. So black's down a piece, but has a significant attack going. I mean, the obvious first look at is bishop takes g4, tempo on the queen. Where's the queen go? What's the threat, though? Maybe I should start with what's my threat. I guess the threat being bishop to h3, stopping the king from running, and then queen g4 check to queen g2 checkmate. So that's a pretty good threat. So bishop g4, queen d5. Bishop h3. There's the queen f7 check. I just go to h8. Ooh, wait. I better watch out for this back rank stuff. If that bishop on e3 moves with tempo, I could get in trouble. But so far it looks like bishop takes g4, queen d5, bishop h3, queen takes f7 check, king h8. Queen f3. So do I need to go there? Oh, maybe I don't. Maybe it's faster. Bishop g4, queen d5. Bishop g4, queen d5. Bishop back. To e6. I think I need to be quicker. How to be quicker? Bishop g4, queen. What about queen d4? There I've probably got queen h3. Oh, bishop e4 right away. Bishop e4 right away. Bishop e4 now. Pawn f3. There's queen g3. It's pretty devastating, I think. So bishop e3, threatening mate. How's he defend? I don't really see a defense. Bishop e4. I don't know what I was saying. Bishop e4. Pawn f3. Queen queen g3 check. Queen g3 check. King f1. I think there's a mating pattern there. Bishop g2 check. King g1. Bishop back can win the queen, and anyway, it's bishop h3. King anywhere, mate. Right? I think that looks pretty good. Bishop e4. So you want to take the pawn, but bishop e4. And, oh, did I not look at that? I guess wins the queen, huh? Queen h3 check. King e2. Queen, bishop f3 check. King d2. Bishop d1 wins the queen. Is there really no mate? And queen h1. King e2. Queen f3. King d2. And he escapes. So maybe just win the queen. Check. King e2. Bishop f3 check. Wins the queen. Won the queen, huh? Cool. Well, I'm glad I won. My computer is really struggling. I don't know if anybody's going to get to see this video. Oh well. Oh well. Almost there. 2165. Well, if I can get to the queen to h6 and then g7, that's mate. So how to do it though? I mean, queen h6 right now, there's rook takes, rook takes, rook takes, rook takes, queen takes. So that's no good. I just lose the pawn. So what about queen h4? Then I guess h5. Queen h4, h5. What do I do? There's a back rank problem already. So if I could get a rook or a queen back behind, so what about like rook c1, rook c1, queen takes, rook takes. I'm just losing a piece. Queen h4. Is there something with queen h4? Queen h4, h5. Queen h4, h5, g4. I think I'm weakening my king too much. There's no queen sacrifice, is there? Like queen takes g6, h takes g6. Probably nothing. And what about like rook e2? Rook takes f6, rook e8 check, king g7. Can I get the queen away from the defense of it somehow? Like rook f3. I mean, there's always another file on that diagonal, right? Rook f3, queen b2. Queen d4. So what's the idea here? Can't sneak around, can I? Everything's defended. Queen h4, h5. How about rook f3 to get into the g3 square? Rook f3, queen d4. That prevents me from going in there now, so what about... I can never really go to h6, so it's not really a threat. Like queen h4 isn't really threatening queen h6. What about rook f4? Rook f3, queen d4. Rook f3, queen moves. Not really getting a better position there. Am I? I mean, the queen's got the d4 square or the b2 square. So rook f3, queen b2, rook f2, queen d4. Rook e2. There's the check in the back, but once that pawn's gone, I don't have much. What about rook e2? Rook takes f6, then queen f6. Rook c8. Rook c8. Then there's rook takes c8. Queen takes c8. No. So rook e2. Rook takes f6. Queen h6. There's always the rook takes f1 intermediate. Okay, rook e2. Rook takes f6. Queen h6. Rook takes f1. King h2. Rook c8. Rook c8 just defends. What is the trick? rook h4, there's just no threat. Bishop f3, queen b2, f2, queen d4, so rook e2, rook takes f6, rook e8, check, king g7, rook takes, rook, queen takes rook, Is there something back there? Rook e2, rook takes e6, rook takes f6, rook e8 check, king g7, rook takes rook, queen takes rook, queen d5, queen h6 I guess is a threat, kind of. Yeah, how about queen e2, rook e2, rook takes f6, queen e8, rook e8 check, queen g7, maybe the rook has to be taken first. So rook e2, rook takes e6, f6, rook takes f6, queen takes f6, queen h6, rook c8, so rook h6 first, rook h6, so queen h6, rook f6, rook f6, rook f6, rook d1, queen c8, I feel like I'm missing something simple. Rook f4, threatening what, rook h4? Doesn't really do much. Rook f4. Rook, queen h6, rook f6, rook d1, rook c8. Rook d2. We getting somewhere? Queen h6, rook f6, rook d1, rook c8, rook d2. There's always the check. Now rook f1, queen d2. Feels like I'm getting somewhere with that though. Queen h6, rook f6. Rook d1, rook c8, now rook e2, or maybe I'm getting nowhere. Queen h5, pawn takes h5. Oh no. What's the damn idea? Queen f3, rook f3, queen b2, rook f2, queen d4, rook d4, queen c3, rook c3, queen b2. So I can get them off that file, right? And get the queen away from the defense of the rooks. How about just h4, h5? Right here. I mean, I don't really see anything better. h4, h5. I mean, he's not threatening anything, is he? h4, h5. Pawn takes. H takes. Wow, this is taking forever, huh? I just don't see it though. Maybe this is one of those learning opportunities. Rook c1, queen c1, queen c1, rook c1. Just loses a piece. I mean, I don't really see anything better than h4, h5. I feel like there might be something with queen h6, but I don't see it. Rook f4. Something over there. Rook h4. Then queen h6. It's pretty hard. So what about rook f3, queen b2, rook f2, queen d4, rook f4, queen back to wherever, c3, rook h4. That looks pretty good. I don't see anything better. Right? That looks pretty good. Rook h4, then rook takes f6 and queen f6. Starts to get dirty. I don't know if it's good, but it's the best I see. Puzzle failed instantly. All right, cool. What is it? I mean, I knew there was a queen h6 somewhere, but oh my God. Spend so much time on it. It's so easy once you see it. So easy. The obvious solution here is bishop takes e4. But is it a good move? That's the obvious move, I mean. Is it a good move? I don't know. something like rook takes d4. Trying to be able to have pawn takes e3 with some sort of tempo. What about rook takes d1, rook takes d1, then take it? Because then you have to give up an exchange. You have to block with the rook. Then I can take the bishop on d4. So maybe he'll go, so rook d1, rook d1, maybe after bishop takes e4, there's knight c5. Not in time, right? Because I can take the queen, then move my queen. So rook takes d1, rook takes d1. What about rook takes d1, queen takes d1? That's probably just good for me, right? Oh, am I down material? I didn't even count. 3, 3, 2, 2, 7. So I'm down 1 pawn, but it looks like I'm getting that back. Rook takes d1, queen takes d1. Bishop takes a3 check. I can win the bishop on d4. And rook takes d1, rook takes d1, bishop takes e4. If you throw in the knight move first, I can take the queen with check and then move the queen. I think that looks pretty good. But it comes down to rook takes d1 first. Because if not, the knight move. Wait, is that worse? Bishop takes e4. No, because then rook takes rook, bishop takes rook. That's no good. So it's got to be this first. Then throw in this check. Then take the bishop. Sweet. Okay, well, made back the 7 I missed on that last stupid puzzle. I knew was queen h6, but couldn't just pull the trigger. Okay. Well, if I move the e5 knight, the bishop and the rook do work against the queen. So something like knight g4 check, pawn g4. Because then I can skewer the queen and the rook, right? Win a bunch of material. Knight g4, pawn g4, pawn c3. Queen could take the rook. So what if I do the other one first? Rook takes a1, rook takes a1, then check. Rook takes a1, rook takes a1, knight g4 check, pawn g4, bishop c3. And he just takes it. Queen takes. There's no rook to defend it. So knight g4, pawn g4, bishop c3. Queen takes rook. Rook takes queen. Is that good enough? Up knight and a queen for 2 rooks. And a knight. So maybe not. Can I take the knight right away? Is that better? Rook takes c3. Queen takes c3. Then there's knight g4. And rook takes c3. Yeah. Rook takes c3. Say c3. Queen takes c3. There's knight g4. That looks pretty good. Because that would be a rook and a knight for a knight and a queen. That looks much better. Don't want to blunder mate, right? Sweet. So I would show you the other variation, but I don't think my computer can handle it. And I think you get the idea. After queen takes, knight g4, check, pawn takes, bishop takes queen. All right, 2171. Keep it going. I've already seen this one. It's cheating. I messed it up last time. I looked at it for a long time and I just messed it up. So, am I going to get it this time? I think I can mate with just the dark squared bishop and the queen. Bishop takes g6, threatening mate. Pawn takes g6. Rook takes g6. Pawn takes g6. Queen h8. King f7. Queen g7. King e8. And the move I missed last time was queen takes g6, forcing the king back. And then bishop g7, forcing the king back more. And then bishop h6, king h8, queen g7 mate. So it starts with the bishop take, because that threatens mate. Yeah. So now I can take with the pawn, because the other one leads to mate. Oh, now what's the idea? Take g6 with check to get my queen out of the way. I guess I've got to. Check. Takes. Queen takes e7. Rook takes g6 check. F takes g6. Is there something better? Sweet. Yeah, that's why I only got +3 though, because I have seen that before. I didn't see it to the end like that, but I have seen it before. 2174. Well, what have we got here? It's attacking my queen. I've got some knight checks on d6 and f6. What about knight takes d4, bishop takes d4, knight d6 check to win the bishop, to win the b7 bishop. That looks pretty good. I don't think there's a mate here. Everything's protected. I think knight takes, bishop takes, knight d6 to win the b7. Bishop. Well, maybe I'm going too quickly, but I think that's it. So now I take back with the queen to defend my knight. Take back with the queen. Any pawn pushes, I just take en passant. I think I have to take back with the queen. Although, take with the bishop, I can win the a8 rook, but that's 2 pieces for a rook. It's usually not good. Sweet. All right, 18 points to go. Let's do this. Okay. Well, looks like there's going to be some kind of mating attack here. Both our kings are pretty open. I mean, instantly you want to go like rook takes g3, pawn takes g3, rook takes g3, but after rook g2 defending, might not be much there. So what about something like queen f3 first, threatening both rooks? Something, what, rook d e1, and then rook takes, pawn takes, rook takes. Rook takes, pawn takes, maybe queen takes, to prevent him from going to h2. But anyway, I think queen to f3 first. Force him to move a rook. But what about rook d1 to d2? Queen f3. d1 to d2. Rook takes, pawn takes, rook takes. Rook g2. Now rook takes, rook takes. There's not much. Maybe there's an attack along the h file then. Something like rook g8 right now forces the queen far away. I mean, queen would have to go to like, I guess all the way back to d3. I mean, the queen can stay over in my side like d7, but looks pretty far from the action. Yeah, let's see. Rook H8. Queen D7. Rook G8. Queen D7. Is there a sacrifice already? Like Rook H1 check, King H1, Queen F3 check. Not quite. Don't want to get back rank mated, so Rook H8, Queen D7, Queen F8, or Queen F3. Queen F3. There's a D6 check. King A8. No other useful check. I'm threatening mate. That looks pretty tough to deal with. Is there a way? I don't see it. That looks pretty good. Rook H8, Queen D7, Queen F3. So check on D6, King A8. I think that's it. Nice. Man, I love when they just take so I don't have to go through the whole variation. I mean, it makes it easier, but I hope my calculations were correct, obviously. +6, only 12 points away. Let's see what we got. I saw this one already too. Man, they like to repeat these. I mean, maybe it's good that I see it until I get it, but it is only ever on the second try, so maybe I'll never see him again. I say it's only on the second try, but watch me miss this one. I think it was pretty long. I got the first half of it right, though. Bishop B6. King F4. Okay, Bishop B6, King F4, G5, King G4, King G3, and then Bishop E6. I think that's the move that defends everything for me that I missed last time, was Bishop E6. Because otherwise I can't defend everything. He's infiltrating. It's even at best. So here, now this is the move I missed last time. Think Bishop E6. Keeping that knight out. There we go. Now knight takes, right? There's no fork here. And there's no rook pin. Sweet. Wow, +9, sweet. Well, I mean, I have seen that puzzle before, but I mean, when you get up here, I guess you start missing some and they repeat them so that you figure out the reason for the puzzle. All right, last one. I might spend an hour on this one trying to get it. Oh, there it is, ready to go. No, I'm just messing with you. I need to figure this one out. Already the queen can trade down for 2 rooks, right? Queen, that move could have taken d8, rook d8, knight d8. Oh, then bishop d5, trapping the knight. So, how about rook d5? Well, let's think about this. What am I trying to threaten here? How about bishop d5? Threaten mate. It's the best thing to threaten. Threaten mate. And g3 defending. Bishop takes c6. Bishop d5. There's no good knight jumps. There's no knight check. So if there's no knight check, there's no good knight jumps because he's going to jump to a dark square. There's no blocking. So bishop d5, threatening mate. Queen f1 defending. Maybe not queen f1, maybe g3. And then bishop takes g6, or bishop takes c6, I mean. Or queen takes c6. Ooh. Bishop d5. I think that's definitely the first move. Then I'll need to see what he does, I guess. But bishop d5, g3. Queen takes looks pretty good to get him kind of on that battery. Threatening bishop h8 and bishop queen g7. Bishop, wow. Bishop h1 and queen g2 mate. Okay, bishop d5. I mean, same thing. Bishop d5, if queen d8, rook d8, knight d8. I think the knight's just trapped. So queen d6 traps the knight. Did not consider that. Now what happens on king g8? There's knight e7. So that does not look very good. Well, other than that, there's Rook d6. Still threatening mate. Rook d6, queen d6, rook d6. I don't have to worry about back rank, right? Yeah. Rook e8. I can just take. Rook d6. He's got to do something about g2. Yep. Now I take. Which way? Now there's another choice. Bishop takes or rook takes. Well, no, there isn't. Rook takes doesn't work. So it's bishop takes, huh? Unless there's something like queen h5 going for mate. But no, I think just allows time to defend. Victory! 22-10. Nice. And look at how many green I got in a row down there. Damn. Nice work, Andrew. Nice work. Thanks to all you guys on Reddit and on YouTube watching my video, keeping me honest and making me want to work harder. Damn, 2,200. Wow. I seriously never thought I was going to get to decide this quickly. Thought maybe all year. All right, well, I guess I'll take it for the day. Take a break. Hope this video worked. Thanks. See ya.